This is the moment chaos erupts in Daytona Beach, Florida. Hundreds of people running across the beach Saturday after what appeared to be gunshots ringing out.
There were 0 gunshots on the beach because what they were doing was crushing a water bottle to make it sound like a gunshot to stampede the crowd.
The Volusia County Sheriff says it happened even with dozens of law enforcement officers in the crowd, later adding at least one weekend shooting was also spring break related.
Before we get into the rest of this video, I don't understand why people want to participate in neighborhood activities. And the reason why I'm putting it like that is because I am still unemployed. And just in case this video is under review, I am choosing my words very carefully. Now, if you have grown up hood adjacent like me, you know exactly what I mean when I say neighborhood. Anytime there is an event happening in the city, and I'm in California, and I have an idea or an inkling that the neighborhood is going to be there, I'm out. I'm out. Because guess what? When the neighborhood is involved and when alcohol is mixed in that and drugs, nothing but bad things will happen. And, you know, the funny thing about this story is that just like with the protests that were happening in Minnesota and spring break here now, I can always tell when people don't have good jobs or no jobs at all. Because when you have a good job or responsibilities and the elevation of the internet, you are very peculiar and careful where you go and spend your time. When you are employed by a corporation, whatever you do outside of the job can still affect what happens on the job. The activity you choose to do outside of work can still reflect negatively regarding your employment. Yes, I'm on the internet. I still believe that certain things and details about my life shall remain private. I'll just simply say that I have a union job. I'll just say it like that. I have a union job, a very strong union at that, right? In the bylaws and workplace behavior, I still have to maintain a certain level of decorum because I am employed by this entity. And even though I'm off on my personal time, certain behaviors, if reported, can affect my employment. And so you have a lot of people out here that don't take any of these things into consideration. They feel that they can act one way on the job and they can do another thing on their personal time. That is true to a certain degree. You have to understand that businesses and corporations do not like bad publicity. True story. Pat Beverly was accused of sexual assault by his sister. It was taken to a grand jury and they found that it was insufficient evidence. Pat Beverly also had a contract with Barstool Sports to do a podcast, and he was forced out and suspended immediately until the situation was resolved. The podcast continued while he was resolving his legal issues. He was exonerated, not charged, and he was cleared, but they still pushed him out because it was a bad look on the corporation. What am I saying? What I am simply saying that what you do on your personal time can still affect your employment that allows you to live the life you live and take care of your family. Not every action on your personal time is forgivable by your employer. And what I'm simply saying is that we have to make better decisions as adults and understand that in the era of social media and camera phones, that you could be doing something and you think nobody's filming, but there's always a camera around. There's always a camera around. So if you want to turn up in a confined space. If you want to let it loose in a confined space with people that you trust. Don't be out in the public at the beach and all these different places doing things that can be recorded and reported back to your employer. Let's be responsible, y'all.
And in Port Aransas, Texas, police say a 17-year-old shot and wounded 5 people on a beach late Saturday night. No one's running from gunshots, but in Miami Beach, Florida, an iconic party town has worked on a spring break rebrand in recent years, and it seems to be working. Police say this weekend arrests plummeted almost 21% year over year. The city's surging resources, more police, DUI and license plate checks, but also parking and getting towed are more expensive.
The strategy that we implemented was an all hands on deck and a collective strategy involving not only the police department, but different city entities that made it very clear, we welcome you to our city, but if you decide to break the rules and break the law, you'll be dealt with accordingly.
Yo, man, shout out to the officer. I can tell he means business by his physique. You know what I'm saying? He probably got 2% body fat on him. Listen, I wish that was my testimony, but hey, Jesus paid it all. But moving on, I encourage y'all to stay away from the neighborhood. Look at them running. Here in California, there are certain beaches I will not go to when it's hot. Number 1, Dockweiler Beach. Number 2, Venice Beach. Number 3, Long Beach. The reason why I would not go to these beaches here in my city is for various reasons. Dockweiler Beach, which is probably the closest to me, the reason why I don't go to that one because the neighborhood's always going to be there. If I go to that beach, I have to go during off-peak season, meaning I need to go when it's cold. I need to go in the winter or the spring when they in the house, right? The reason I do not go to Venice Beach because that beach is flooded with homeless people and drug addicts. For that city to have million-dollar homes, multi-million-dollar homes, the beach is infested with drug addicts and homeless people with mental issues. Long Beach is just simply dirty. Long Beach is not as expensive as Venice or Dockweiler, which is next to Culver City or Playa del Rey or Marina del Rey if you're trying to be fancy in California, but it's still expensive. But overall, they do not have homeless people, but it's dirty. It's super, super dirty. And I'm just letting y'all know in a respectable way, please avoid any situation, location, or event that involves the neighborhood. If there is an event that involves people that you would not invite to your house, that you are scared to invite to church, the Lord's house, don't go.
Bracing a new strategy to avoid scenes like this. Jesse Kirsch, NBC News, Miami Beach, Florida.
The city of Daytona Beach is declaring a state of emergency starting tomorrow. This comes after chaos erupted during the start of spring break last weekend. With more unsanctioned events expected this weekend, city officials are working to keep the beaches safe. West 2's Pamela Combe explains the youth curfew and what locals have to say in response.
After thousands of people flooded Daytona Beach for an unsanctioned event last weekend, leading to chaos in parts of the city, leaders voted to take action. Some locals are welcoming the city of Daytona Beach's new curfew for anyone under 18.
I think that's pretty awesome. I think we definitely need that. That should actually be in place all the time.
If you are a parent and your child is going to spring break with adults, you should be in jail, straight up. You should be in jail if your child, who is a minor, is participating in spring break on your money. My mother would never, ever allow me to participate in a spring break in my years before I graduated high school, before I started driving. My mother may have been a lot of different things. She may have been a lot of different things. I promise you. But one thing for sure is that I wouldn't have been in no spring break at a beach unless one of my cousins was taking me. And unfortunately for me, one of my cousins was 4 years older than me, and I was able to experience a lot of things in high school because he had a car before me. He was 4 years older than me. My mama didn't even let me go to parties unless she knew the parents. I can count on my hand at the age of 42 how many parties I went to because my mama said I could not go because she didn't know the parents. And back when I was growing up, my mama wasn't even trying to leave the house. So most days, she wasn't even interested in even meeting the parents. Unless it was somebody at my school or somebody at church that was throwing a party, I wasn't going. Oh, or if it was one of her coworkers' kids. If it wasn't one of those three situations, or if my cousin wasn't going, I was in the house. I'm not going to sit here and paint the picture like I had a bad childhood, like my mama didn't do the best she could. And you know, listen. Before cell phones, my mama let me get my own phone line, hard phone line in my room with a voice, with an answer machine. With the resources she had, I had a great childhood. My mama didn't play.
Starting Friday and for the next 7 days, all minors will have to be at home by 8 p.m. until 5 a.m. the following morning.
I don't even know why we're reporting this, man. What's up with the parents? What's up with the parents?
The curfew applies only within the special event zone stretching from University Boulevard to Silver Beach. This curfew won't apply to minors who are with their parents, who are playing in their...
Parents who have responsibilities and jobs to go to is not about to be out there at the beach in the middle of the week. It's not happening. It's not happening without them taking the day off the next day. So y'all can go ahead and cross that out. But if it's one of these new age parents, their kids would be down there cutting up a fool.
Front yard or going to and from work. In the meeting, Police Chief Jakari Young says he has more ideas for future years on how to get the crowds under control, from placing an age limit on Airbnbs to requiring mandatory security guards at bars.
I have an idea. Start arresting people. Start arresting people. Start messing up their life. Start hitting them with charges. I guarantee if you start arresting the corporates that are causing the chaos, it would detour people from coming down there. Listen, y'all be too lenient. Some officers be lazy and don't want to do paperwork, but I'm telling you, if you start arresting people, taking them to jail, hitting them with serious charges, and you do this at a high repetition, it would detour people from coming down there acting a fool like they don't have no sense. I promise you.
But he says it's up to the city commission to decide how strict they want to be, giving examples of what other cities are doing during spring break.
So Miami Beach just flat out said, you are not welcome at all. We don't want you here. Everything's shut down. Panama City Beach is looking at managing it, but zero tolerance.
The city's hoping this curfew helps reduce the crowds. All agencies are still preparing, including beach safety, because the massive crowds increase the number of calls that come in.
Inside of those big groups, we'll have smaller units staged so we can respond quickly. We do have an established emergency lane that we try and traverse throughout the day to keep people out of, but with that many people, it's difficult to get through in an expeditious manner.
Covering Volusia County in Daytona Beach, Pamela Combe, West 2 News.
Yo, I feel we need to take better responsibility and make better decisions as a community. I don't know what it's going to take for y'all to get it, but the neighborhood don't mean you no good. Being around neighborhood people don't mean you no good. And guess what? They're everywhere. They are our family. They are our friends. They are our coworkers. When you get to a certain age, you need to protect what you have worked for and what you have earned. And you especially need to protect the doors that God has opened for you that you didn't even deserve. When God has extended the hand of favor upon your life and allowed you to experience certain things, you need to protect it. I just want to encourage anyone that has made it to the end of this video. You know, there is nothing wrong with having a good time, especially in God as a Christian. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. Howsoever, if you are participating in events that could potentially bring you legal issues or challenge your employment and involve people from the neighborhood, you should run the opposite direction. If you made it to the end of this video, hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. Remember, God loves you and I love you. Listen, y'all stay away from the neighborhood people because they don't mean you no good. When the neighborhood is mixed with the alcohol, things go bad every time. But that's it for me tonight. I'm out.